All right, now that we have our team in place and up-to-date pre-approval and we know what it is exactly that we're looking for, we can do the fun part of looking for a new home. What you'll want to do is create your search criteria with your wants and needs in mind, and then either have your realtor send you listings automatically through MLS, or you may just want to set up listing alerts on your favorite platform, whichever is easier for you to use. MLS is great in that it's the most up-to-date and it has the most information, but as a realtor, I can tell you firsthand the software is remarkably clunky. It's definitely not as fun to use as something like Zillow. You're going to want to set up your search so you're alerted whenever anything new comes onto the market, especially in a hot market like we're in right now where it's more of a seller's market. You're going to want to be the first in the know or one of the first people to know about new homes, as you may not have that long to take a look at them. Timing is everything. In the process of looking for homes, your realtor should also be actively looking and proactively searching within their network for any listings that might be coming soon to the market or any off-market opportunities that might match your criteria. Once you see a home that you like or you want to take a further look at, let your realtor know. They'll schedule a showing for you or meet you at an open house, and they'll go through the home with you, especially if this is your first time going through a new home. You're definitely going to want your realtor there with you so they can point out exactly what you should be looking for. Once you're at the home, here's a few things you should pay attention to. The location. How's the neighborhood? Do a couple laps around the block and really get a feel for the area and the neighborhood that the home's in. Could you see yourself living here? The lot. How's the yard? Are there any easements, wetlands? Is there anything you should be concerned about with the land or with the yard in general? You should also try to ask about lot lines, especially in a tighter neighborhood. Make sure the neighbor doesn't have anything that's encroaching onto your lot lines. Depending on where you are there any trees overhanging the home that you would need to be taken care of? Just, anything that could be a problem on the lot. If you're looking at a condo versus a single family home, how is the building? The common areas, the exterior of the building, how well kept is the building? Just make sure that everything is well taken care of, because certain parts aren't really within your control, especially in a condo. Your realtor should be able to check and see if there's any special assessments, but if there's no special assessments, as in the HOA is going to be set and you don't have to worry about any additional payments there, you should be looking at things on the building to see if there's any early signs of neglect or poor maintenance, because if the building is poorly kept, then you risk having a higher HOA over time with special assessments. Say they need to do a lot of work on the building, then your homeowners association fee will go up. Still outside, be sure to inspect the exterior of the home. I know it can be tempting to jump right inside and go look at the inside of the home, but definitely take a minute to walk around and go through the entire exterior of the home. Look out for things like rotting windowsills, peeling paint, or any cracks in the foundation. Anything major that could be of concern. If you can take a few steps back to see the roof, try to look and see if there are any curls in the shingles or if there's any growth on the roof. Anything that could cause a problem down the line, as a roof is one of the more expensive things to replace, one of the more expensive things to take care of. So definitely try to get a good look at that and get a good feel for how the condition of the roof is. Not to mention, if the roof is leaking, it's kind of hard to hide that on the inside. Ultimately, if you do get a home inspection, they'll go through any noticeable flaws with you, but it doesn't hurt looking at this stuff ahead of time to potentially save yourself the trouble. Moving to the inside of the home or the unit, try not to pay attention to things like the color of the walls or the seller's decoration, the seller's furniture. The decor and furniture most likely won't be included in the sale, and the paint color will be fairly easy to change. What I'm really trying to get at is don't get hung up on anything that's only going to cost a couple $100s or a few $100s on a purchase that's hundreds of thousands, if not over $1 million. Pay attention to things like the layout of the home. Is it usable for you and your family? Is the size of the rooms, of the kitchen, bedrooms, bathrooms, is that all usable for you and your family? Because while that might be changeable, it's much more expensive and it's much more difficult. When it comes to the systems of the home, be sure to take a good look at all of these systems. Even if you don't really know what you're looking at, you should be able to tell roughly if it's in decent condition, if it's been taken care of or not. They are essentially the heart of the home. This is where it would help to ask the age of the systems and then also ask if there's any service history. Your realtor could probably do this ahead of time. The final thing I'll note for viewing property and checking out homes is look out for anything that screams DIY. Is there anything sketchy or jerry-rigged on the house that you just, kind of gives you a little bit of a red flag? It could be nothing major. It could be just a small little thing that the homeowner tried to take into their own hands. But the major concern I have with things that are DIY or jerry-rigged are anything that's maybe hidden, under the walls that we don't know about, that an inspection really won't show. And I get it. Some homeowners are craftsmen, some homeowners are great at doing their own work, but Some people aren't. Some people think they can do more than they actually can, let's be honest. So that's one thing to watch out for. In my state of Massachusetts, it's caveat emptor, or emptor, in which it's the buyer's sole responsibility for the condition of the property. They're basically assuming the due diligence and basically inspect the property. This doesn't mean the seller could lie about anything, but it means that it's basically the buyer's job to uncover certain flaws within the property. You know, once you've been to a few different showings or a few open houses, you'll probably eventually go to a few without your agent. Just be sure to let them know ahead of time what you're planning on looking at. They can probably try to get any additional information or any documents to you before you go, so you can go in with a clear head and any idea on any problems that might be there ahead of time. Also, if you're planning on going something that you're really interested in and you think you might be interested in putting an offer in, it wouldn't be a bad idea to let your lender know ahead of the weekend so that they could either get you an updated pre-approval or make sure that you can actually afford the home, especially in a case where you might have higher taxes than what you're used to or a higher HOA. You'll want an updated pre-approval letter when you go to submit an offer, and it could also help in preventing you from looking at anything that's outside of your price range, especially in cases where there would be a higher HOA or a higher tax rate. And this is much more prevalent for people who are shopping for homes at the higher point of their budget or right at their pre-approval limit. So let your realtor know, let your lender know. Okay, so you found the perfect house. Now what?